What's up, everyone? We're back with some more of the First Descendant. Now, we just had an absolutely insane dev stream, and I wanted to recap some of those things that we went over, as well as the insight that we gained, some of the massive events that are going to be happening, and as well as some of the content that is definitely going to be worth the wait. So, of course, with that, make sure you guys subscribe, grab your popcorn, sit back and relax, and let's go ahead and let's get right into it. Now, one of the first things that they start out with, and I always say this, is that you have to appreciate a dev team that is willing to put their pride aside and they're able to apologize for something that they felt didn't meet the expectations of players. And so that first thing was the Void Purge. Now, they go to mention that, of course, that they're sorry, obviously, for the difficulty spike, and that there's definitely some issues with the single player or soloing of this specific piece of content. So what they actually noted that they were going to be doing to fix this was they were going to be increasing the attack bonus that we actually are going to be getting, as well as HP rebalancing the enemies. And on top of that, the tracking and beams that are just basically killing everybody, they're going to be mitigating and reducing those, as well as opening up the public matchmaking a little bit earlier so that you're able to get into a party, so that you're able to have a much easier time grinding out this new resource, so that you're able to get your guns up to par for all the new content that's going to be coming. So I gotta say, W to them. I personally didn't mind the difficulty, but I also am a player that does put in a lot more time than the average person. So I will say this is something that overall can help the average player getting into the game and allowing them more of an opportunity to partake in some of the new content that's going to be coming. Now, of course, with that, some of the other things that they decided to mention was that this season is actually going to be reinvented in a way, right? So they let us know that they weren't going to be calling it season 3, that basically season 3 was going to be coming in the summer, so sometime in June. So what we are going to be seeing is season 2, episode 2, and with a episode, anytime we see that, that means that we're going to be getting a story update. Now, in this story update, it's kind of cool. It's called Beyond the Void, and in the Beyond the Void, we're going to be essentially seeing a little bit more of a dive into the relationship and just kind of getting some more information on Glay's daughter, Daya. Now, that's something that I'm actually kind of interested in because you constantly hear her voice line whenever you are selecting this character. She's always saying it. So I'm really interested to see what that's going to lead us to. And of course, this was a really, really important piece of information because this also further explained why we were getting so much love to Glay when it came down to a lot of the skins, etc. But we'll talk about that in a little bit. Now, of course, on top of all of that, they did us a big one, and they gave us a sneak peek at the new Descendant, Serena, that is going to be coming into the game. And I gotta say, they went crazy with this character design. Now, we're not able to see the entire body, but we get to see quite a bit here. And you can probably tell from the developer's face, they really do enjoy and love this design themselves and the reaction that we actually gave in the live stream. Now, of course, with that, this is like I said, a very interesting Descendant that's going to be coming into the game because she's going to be one of the very few that can actually fly. Now, what I'm hoping to see is maybe some things that allow her to be really, really good with gun builds. I feel like that, of course, would make all of this investment that we're making worthwhile. And that would definitely be something that I think a lot of players would like to see. If you have that combined with the flying, and now we kind of have this aerodynamic with the gunning, man, that is going to be an absolutely insane update. And she's coming sooner than you think, and we're going to talk about that in a second. Now, of course, with that, we also got to see Ultimate Blair. Now, man, this is my favorite character. I put 20-something catalysts into this guy, and they absolutely killed the concept art for him. Now, we weren't able to see the full design that they're going to have in-game, but they're obviously cooking up a storm with the flame cigar to the fact that he's snapping and there's sparks coming off his finger. I'm hoping they give him the Roy from Full Metal Alchemist treatment where he just snaps and blows up everything on the map. I think that would be the coolest thing. So I'm actually really excited to see what they're going to do with Blair. But yeah, Ultimate Blair, absolutely insane. So, of course, with that, another important thing that they also showed us too is there's a new dog that's going to be coming into the game. And this new dog is different than the sheep herder dog that we initially are starting out with. And that's one of the big things that I definitely will say you want to prepare yourself for, because this new dog is going to be a Labrador, and this is going to hold extra ammo. So we have one dog that's able to disassemble and basically break down resources. We have another one that's going to be able to hold extra ammo. And that's definitely going to be something that I think a lot of players are absolutely going to want. They're going to love, because we have had a ton of issues when it came down to people running out of ammo. And we're definitely going to see people running that in something like the Void Purge, for example, and even future content. Now, on top of that, they also decided to showcase and kind of give us a little bit of a teaser of a new system coming into the game. And this is what I would kind of call the coring in quotations of Descendants. This is the Arche tuning. Now, the Arche seed is also going to be something that will have different settings, and you can adjust this according to what build that you might want to be emphasizing. So this is another layer that we'll be able to invest into and basically make up. Now, the cool thing about this is that what we're going to be able to do with this is that we'll be able to actually connect different links or different nodes, and that will lead to a bigger node or ultimate node, and that's going to allow us to get that bigger percentage or that bigger boon. So of course, with that, as you can see in the picture, it says max HP 30%, but then it says unique Arche factors needed, it's 10, right? So that's basically what you would need in order to be able to activate that. But they do go to say that this is a work in progress, so we'll probably see some more things coming in the near future as far as more information. So stay tuned for that. Now, of course, with that, we also have the Sigma sector will be added as far as content for us to be able to farm this. And so that's something that is also going to be really interesting to see, like we kind of had with the Void ships with the updates for Keelan and Inez. Now, on top of that, we also are going to be getting the ultimate transfer items. Now, the ultimate transfer item, I wasn't 100% sure at first what this was, but I was able to get clarification that the ultimate transfer item is actually going to be something that we obtain via ultimate events. Now, what that's going to allow you to do is going to actually be the item that's going to be implementing the system that allows us to transfer catalyst slots from our base units to our ultimate. So let's say, for example, like I invested 20 catalysts into my regular Blair. I'm going to be able to move those over to ultimate Blair. So you'll be able to do that for any Descendant that ends up getting an ultimate form. And the only way we'll be able to obtain this item is from the ultimate events. So keep that in mind. Okay. Now, on top of that, okay, we're going to be seeing some adjustments to reactors and external components. So that's also going to be a really, really big thing. They did mention that, and we're going to touch on that in a second. Some of the other things they also mentioned as well is that we're also going to be having a better party finder so that we're able to have more of a chance to get into those parties. It also is going to give us a little bit more liberty, probably being able to decide like what kind of party members we're looking for, etc., whether it's more hardcore or casual. That's going to be something that we could also be possibly seeing. Now, with all this stuff being jam-packed like it is, there's probably a couple of different things that flew over everyone's head, and it's actually the timeline for season 2, episode 2, Beyond the Void. Now, with that, March 3rd is actually going to be the start of the main story, season 2, episode 2, as well as the new field, which is going to be the Sigma sector. We're getting a new monster type as well as a new boss. We're getting the Descendant growth node, which is going to be the Arche tuning. We're also going to be getting Serena in March, right off rip, right? New ultimate weapons ×4 is going to be coming into the game, new external components, and as well as a new Void intercept battle, Abyss Tormentor. So really sick. Now, of course, with that, we're also going to be getting some other things, the Void Abyss skins, Colossus toy, that's also going to be coming with that. We're going to have the season 2-2 inversion reinforcement season buffs that are going to be coming. The new fellow retriever is going to be here as well. New modules. We're going to have a new battle pass, the photo mode, and of course the paint improvements, eyebrow, beard dye, additional, and of course the customization presets. Ultimate transfer will be coming around then. First reactor op condition integration, limited weapon trade edition, Excava will be added to the shop, and of course more new skins. Now, moving into April, we're going to have the external components core system, the reactor external component option readjustment. Ultimate Blair will be coming in April as well, which is huge. He's also going to have the Ultimate Blair skill module, Blair story, new external components, and Void Erosion Purge stage edition. Now, on top of that, that's when we get the implementation of the party finder system. We'll also be able to view other Descendants builds and even some quick tips for newer players. On top of that, we're going to have the story quest route improvement, beginner support quests, as well as early gameplay guide improvements, in-game web guide, and new skin. And then going into May, we get some more for the Descendant Growth Arche tuning sockets. We then get the Void Abyss Ice Maiden, and as well as the Abyss skin and the Colossus toy for that. We get the physics, which is the jiggle physics, and then of course the photo mode sticker customization edition and the new skin. We're also going to be getting some presets, which I think is also pretty cool too. But more importantly, to some of the things that I was actually really excited for when it came up was that the devs actually decided that they were going to be buffing some of the ultimate weapons in the patch that's coming up on the 13th. Now, this is going to consist of 3 guns as of right now, which is going to be the Last Dagger, the Restored Relic, and Sigvor's Proof. Now, the Last Dagger is actually going to be getting an improved way of dealing powerful damage in single target combat. The Restored Relic is basically going to have an improved way for it to have multiple cluster projectiles to home in on nearby enemies for additional attacks upon explosion, which is huge because that's currently Glay meta. And then of course we have the Sigvor's Proof, which is going to have an improved amount or higher damage output if more planet sticky bombs are present. So keep in mind with the Sigvor's Proof, you don't have to detonate right away. You can just kind of shoot it. And then once you let go of the trigger, then that will actually detonate. And that's going to now be a much, much more astronomical amount of damage that we can potentially see from that. So this is definitely going to be, of course, a huge thing. Obviously, other rare weapon balance adjustments and void erosion purge improvements we'll also be seeing at some point as well. Now, that's not all. We also have another bigger patch that's going to be coming on February 20th for external component set effects rebalances and improvements. So under the rebalance, we have the Invader set, Bravery set, and the Volcanic set. And then under improvements, we have the Distorted Resolve, Frozen Heart, and the Hungry Sonic. Now, we're also going to be seeing some module balance adjustments, which is basically going to be improving short status effect durations of certain ultimate modules. We're going to be seeing some adjustments to stats for the low usage modules, which again is huge because if we're not using them, then they're just kind of sitting there, and that's not really giving us the build diversity that I really would say they're seeming to want to push towards. Now, on top of that, they're also going to be changing the groups of certain ultimate modules to improve combinations with key ultimate modules, and this essentially means that we could be seeing some of the symbols or sigils changing on them. So like say going from Cerulean to a completely different symbol, where we'll be able to actually pair this up with another combination, which is going to give us a different interaction and maybe even potentially different scaling. So this hotfix is also going to be another massive one. This is also going to be coming with some drop improvements. Not only are we going to be able to see more external components dropping in a lot of different areas, including some of the boss fights that we have in the game, but we're also going to be seeing some drop improvements for external components in the 400% dungeons. So of course, wanted to make sure I jammed that in because that is huge when we're talking about being able to have a more efficient usage of your time and just being able to get more out of your grind. Now, of course, with that, we do have a couple of different events that are going to be coming up, and these are starting as soon as the 13th. Okay. And with that, we're going to be getting for the very first one, the Operation Initiation. We're going to be getting the emotes Boost Morale and the Big Game. I think that's actually for the Super Bowl, if I'm not mistaken, but correct me if I'm wrong. But all you have to do is log into the game. That'll be going on from the 13th to the 19th. We have Operation Daily Report, which is going to be going on from the 13th to March 13th, and this is just a daily check-in. We're going to be getting a ton of things from Void Abyss Metal to disruptors, core binders, energy activators, and so much more. And then from the 13th, so these are 3 events that are going to be starting on one day. We also have Operation Kate's Experiment Assistant, where you basically have to log in and clear daily/weekly missions for this. And again, this is going to be coming with gold, dimension analyzers, precision ion accelerators, ultimate weapon selection boxes, which is the biggest thing of this, and so much more. And then later on in the month, we're going to have on the 27th, the Operation Burning Embers, which is going to last from then till the 13th. We're going to have a login and clear daily/weekly missions again for that, but we're going to be getting a whole new set of different things, including some of the previous things, which is the Void Abyss Metal Fragments, precision ion accelerators, and of course, my favorite thing in the game, the crystallization catalyst, and so much more. So yeah, we have a ton to look forward to when it comes down to the content and the events. These are things that you guys do not want to miss because like I mentioned before, I was extremely upset I missed the Christmas event, and that was 30 free catalysts that I could have had and taken advantage of. And when you miss these events, they absolutely can hurt your account. in terms of your progression at the moment. But there's always events happening and coming. So I definitely think that these are things that you definitely want to be a part of and not miss out on. Now, of course, with one of the last things that they actually showed us in the live stream, the Albion Hot Springs, I think that this was the moment that everybody was waiting for because the chat went crazy, but they showed us some banger skins. Obviously, they have the universal skin for the males, and then they have some unique skins for the females. They also went and showed us, of course, one of the skins that I actually feel like is going to be pretty cool. The concept art for it is going to be the Albion Secret Service, which I think is really cool too. But definitely the highlight was for sure the skins for the females. They even told us that they've done special research in terms of being able to bring us the highest quality possible. And I think that the head dev said that with a smirk on his face. So we know what that means. But nonetheless, I really do think that they have done a absolutely amazing job with bringing us a lot of this stuff. And they really have emphasized the fact that even with this update coming, one of the big things, of course, is that they're pushing back season 3. Right. And of course, with season 3 being pushed back, this is something that a lot of players at first may have been like, that doesn't really feel that great. We wanted season 3 to come right away, but they're still giving us a lot of the changes that are going to be and that were supposed to be coming in season 3 now, because there's other things that they want to plan specifically for season 3 that's going to just take more time so that they can give us a much better experience. And they are promising that that experience is going to come once season 3 comes. And I honestly truly believe them. I feel like this team does a absolutely amazing job at tackling issues and just really trying to create a fun community and really just a healthy environment where they actually are listening to players as much as they realistically and reasonably can. So I got to say kudos to them, and really honestly, GG for such an amazing stream. Now, of course, I want to know how you guys feel in the comment section down below. Definitely make sure that you guys like and subscribe and come through to the Twitch, man. If you guys aren't on the Twitch, I don't know what you're doing. Twitch.tv/ZoxysCon. We are going to be having a 24-hour stream soon, and we're going to probably be doing a couple of different streams where we stream that long because there's a ton of grinding to do. We're going to have some milestones set up, and some of which I'm probably going to regret doing. But if you want to find out more about that, definitely make sure that you guys come through. Let me know how you guys feel in the comment section down below. We're going to have a ton of guides as well, from cores, reactors, what guns to build, what descendants to build. And this is going to be normalizing content for you guys. I'm not going to be trying to make it so sweaty to the point that you can't understand it, but just trying to make it to where you guys are able to have fun. So, of course, with that being said, let me know what you guys think. Everyone, have a blessed night, and I'll catch you guys in the next one.